My name is Ben Wokorach, a final year student of architecture at Makerere University. My final year project is Community Museum of Acholi Traditional Music and Dance. This project was inspired by the urgent need to preserve the rich and diverse Acholi traditional music and dances. And in 2013, UNESCO released a report about cultural groups with cultural practice at the verge of disappearing. The Acholis were mentioned among the topmost at risk. The project site is located in Uganda, along Wadebe Road, as you access down the airfield, about 1 kilometer from Uganda District Center. So before I proceeded to develop the project into a tangible aspect, I had this conviction that came from the research that I did for my dissertation in first semester, which was about community museum architecture in Uganda. It was very inspiring to unveil the potential of this museum typology to not only preserve the tangible cultural heritage, but most importantly, the intangible aspect of culture like wisdom, music, skill. So it's in this finding that I strongly believe community museum architecture has the might to avoid the likelihood that Acholi culture shall fade away and disappear. So right from the beginning, I set out an intention to create a symbiosis relationship between the museum and the community. So think about that. I thought about a place that would bring together the children, the youth, and the elderly from different communities on a platform that would shape their behaviors and attitudes towards culture. Think about the design team of the facility. I thought about Raka dance, and I felt that this is a very strong tool that I can use to realize the project that at the end of the day would not only preserve the rich and diverse tangible culture of music and dance in the region, but also the intangible. So the first thing that I did was to understand the architectural setting of the dance. So you have this central space, which is a very symbolic architectural space in Acholi architecture, which then becomes a data that organizes spaces about it. So this is the space which not only functions as the dance space, but also adapts to other spaces like community meeting. Also space where actually children can play. Also understood the dance mood, so that it helped me to examine the experience and the moods within the facility itself. And one thing that caught my attention was this point by Acholi in the song of Darwin. In developing the project further, at urban scale, so I proposed a pedestrian walkway that would link the site and the community, passing through Kaunda Ground to the public park and UNICEF Children Playground, connecting to the town center. So along this street, you have small commercial activities, which during events then gives back to the community commercially, especially wholesale small items like pancakes, ice creams, fruits during such events. So then the street is not only a physical element that allows for people to access the site safely, but then it's also a social element in its own right. A living space where people get to interact and know each other. At the site scale, I propose a walkway that would link the pedestrian walkway, which terminates at a threshold. So the walkway would pass through the central space, which is the community plaza, which functions as an amphitheater and community meeting space, and then connects the airport road. So in a way, making the facility very porous and very extroverted, allowing people to move through. So in this central space, this is where you have the amphitheater, which then becomes a daytime that organizes other spaces about it, spaces like the museum, spaces like the theater, performing arts center. At this point, you have the administration block, which is set on a commanding position, which would provide for a natural surveillance over the facility. On this other side, I decided to leave it open so that the whole place is not actually contained, but then provides a U-shape configuration, then opens up into the urban landscape, which then makes it very extroverted. So this is the ground floor plan, which shows the spatial layout of the spaces and how the spaces relate to each other and how harmoniously they integrate to form the whole facility. So from this point, you have the walkway which is partially shaded with timber pergolas, which not only provides for a welcoming space, but then it also evokes this experience of eagerness and anticipation, just like how someone is preparing for a dance. So this is allowed by this general element that contains one, but as you move along through up to the end, up to the facility, the first facility, the amphitheater, then it opens up to a very exaggerated scale of about 15 meters high. So at this point you have the central community plaza, which is designed to evoke the experience of pride and confidence. And this is allowed by the design of the structural system, which you have steel elements. This steel elements is a lattice form that allows for a very strong structural system, without necessary bracing or supports in the middle center. So this is made out of steel, and the steel is intentionally rusted, and the rust is contained by applying resin on it so that it can last for a longer period of time. And then above these steel elements, there are bamboo tubes. These bamboo tubes are woven around the steel elements to provide this partial shading where light can actually filter through it. So it's going to be exposed, but with time it's going to deteriorate. And the intention is that after some point, like after 5 years, the community come together and they still provide support of materials, and then they come together and weave. This relates much to African traditional architecture, where work is done communally. And with this, when they are playing music like leukemia. From this central space, you access the museum space. So you have this lobby space that provides the transition between the energetic amphitheater, then the very calm and intimate museum space. And this central space is designed to have lighting from above with bamboo elements as the ceiling. And this provides for a warm and very intimate experience within the museum. And in a way, you start to forget about whatever is happening beyond you, and then you start to focus on yourself, you start to think about yourself. Then from this lobby space, you can access the different exhibitions, which are in categories of music, instruments, and then you have audio music where one can actually listen to the music from the museum itself. Then you also have different dances still within this museum exhibition. From the museum facility on the other side is a Performing Art Learning Center. This Performing Art Learning Center, the intention was to think about a facility that would allow for these young stars to develop their talent in a way that their music can actually be recorded and distributed at a national level or actually international level, yet not losing away the rich, deep traditional music. So what this allows is that there's a moment where they learned traditional instruments and the music skills, and then they graduate to a level where they can compose their original music, and then to a level where they can record or they can write plays, which is actually then showcased or acted. So in this lobby space, you have this wall of motivation. So this wall of motivation is a round earth with indents in it, and in that indent, that's where you have an exhibition of people who inspire these young stars. The theater space is one of the major space in the facility. It's designed to accommodate 500 people. So you have access from this lobby where you have food courts, and then bar here. And then at this point you have a mezzanine level, 1.5 meters. Then from this point you can access the lower auditorium. And then you follow this staircase to go to VIP lounge above. Then from the VIP lounge, then you can access the gallery space above it. This is a section through the theater, which shows the different change of levels. And you have this acoustic ceiling that allows for sound to be reflected back to the audience. In a way, it's adjustable to allow for different acoustic experiences within the facility. The approximate budget cost is about 9 billion. And the things that we are put in consideration is that the materials are going to be sourced locally, materials like bamboo, materials like earth, materials like makoko, and the community are going to be invited to be part of the construction process, so that at the end of the day they own the project, it becomes like their own. And the sourcing for the fund is going to be from NGOs and also from the local people themselves, because they can provide what they have. Like one person can maybe say, I'm going to contribute 10,000 Uganda shillings or 20,000 Uganda shillings or 100 million until the money is collected to be enough for the project. Thank you so much.